Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to day 23 of ARD static series that is going on, and we are doing 5 MCQs a day, and with the help of these MCQs we understand the topics that are important for NABARD Grade A as well as IBPS AFO examination point of view. And do remember, we are covering only agriculture and rural development. So the topic we are currently doing today, it is training and pruning, and this is in the continuation of the previous chapter that we were doing, that is plantation and horticulture. So this is part of it, and you haven't watched the video of previous lectures, the two lectures that we have taken on plantation and horticulture, you can find the link in the description box below. But before starting to a new audience, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also join our Telegram channel to get the PDF of every lecture that we provide here on YouTube. And the ARD static schedule, that is 5 MCQs a day, it is every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 1 p.m. here with me. So, see, before starting the question, let's just first understand the difference between training and pruning for the people who would be studying it for the very first time. So in case of training, what happens? Training means you are training someone to do something. So herein someone are the trees specifically, or whatever cultivation that you have. So in training, what happens? You give direction. In training, you are giving direction to the plant to how to grow, or the trees to how to grow, to have them a proper length. All right, or whatever shape that you desire, that would happen in training. Shape means how you want the tree to go or grow when it becomes old. Pruning is this is a type of, you can say, intercultural activity, you can say. So in pruning, what happens? You then modify the different parts of the plant according to your need. For example, now you feel like you want, first you have shaped your plant like that, right? And now you want that the fruits, it should be grow on only these part of the plant or not, right? So what you can do, you can do pruning accordingly so that you get the desired result. So training, it is a long term, wherein you give shape to the trees, whereas in pruning, what you do, you just giving them a particular modification. All right, so now let's start with question 1, which is, which of the following system is best suited to bear crop load to resist the damage from the strong winds? So herein, what is it? You have been given the advantage, and by reading this advantage, you have to tell the right option. And what we will do with the solution, we are going to study each and every type of system for your better understanding. So the first one is central leader system, second is open center, third is modified leader, fourth is spindle, and fifth is bower. All right. So the correct answer over here, it is central leader system. And now understand each and every concept. All right. So herein, the first one, all right, so here in last one you can now see. So let's start with the first one, which is central leader system. What happens? In which the name suggests central means the center part, it is the leader. So herein the focus is much on building up the central part rather than the side ones. All right, so that is a central leader system, and the actual picture of it, it looks something like this, as you can see in the board also. So herein you can see this length, right? This if you focus, the main focus over here, it is central system only. The next one is open center, in which what happens, after some time this center system, we cut it and then we focus on the side. All right, so see, the advantage of first one is these are quite strong and they can withstand wind because the main trunk, it is being focused. Second one is open center. What happens herein, there is good sunlight penetration as well as there is good aeration, you can say. So there is pretty much good spacing, so the fruits they bear, which bear, are really good. And here you can see also the height, it is somewhere till here only, and then you can see it is opened afterwards. All right, the third one, as you can see, this is modified leader. In what happens, see, this modified leader system, it is basically combination of both, and then this system is made. So what happened in this system, as you can see, the trunk, it is there. As in case of open center, you can see there is no trunk after this this height, right? Because they have cut it and now the focus is on the lateral side. Wherein in modified leader system, as you can see, the main trunk is there, as well as there, see, you can see the gap between these two heights, right? So what happened, herein the focus is aeration also. Aeration means spacing, right? Spacing would be the right word. So spacing between the different branches, that is also being executed, and the main trunk, it is also there. So it is, you can say, combination of central leader system as well as open center system. Next we did was the spindle bush system. As you can see, so here in the plant, the tree, it is attached to a you can say a pole that is usually of 2 meter to 2.4 meter height, the pole we are talking about here, and it looks something like this. You can see this tree herein, it has been attached to such poles. All right, next is bower system. In bower system, these are usually followed in vines, and what happens in this, as you can see in above head, there is a mesh of wires. All right, and this mesh of wires in these vines, they spread and grow, and this is the bower system of training. Now let's move to question number 2, which asks bower system of training is best suited for which of the following crop. All right, so it is this question, it is application based. There are two questions, one is direct, which we did the previous one, and now this one is the you can say this is the application based. So see, the correct answer over here, it is option number C, that is grapes. Why? Because this bower system, it is followed wherein in case of wine whatever wine crops that we have. What are wine crops? जिनकी बेल निकलती है, these are known as the wine crops. All right, and so herein grapes are used for this, and the rest you can see they are the trees. Next is question number 3, but before that we have two courses for AFO. If you're preparing for it, if you have examination in January, the course 1 is of detailed videos and notes for making your concept clear. Apart from that, you can also attempt quiz of this particular of every chapter. And then we have month-wise agriculture current affair magazines, which will help you for your mains as well as interview. We also have important schemes related that are related to agriculture and that are asked very much in your phase 2. And then we also have a test series in which you will find 25 full length mock tests and 30 sectional tests. We have another course for those people who just want to have a quick revision. For them we have 25 full length mock test course and 30 sectional tests and detailed PDF explanation of each of the tests above. Both the tests, they are valid till 31st March, and you can avail 15% off by using the code early15. All right. So now let's move to question number 3, which asks in which of the training system 2 trellis of wires are strung supported by the vertical post. So this is the definition of this particular system. This we are doing currently, we are doing training only. All right, so the correct answer here is Niffin system. All right, so what is this? See, the telephone and modified bower system, these are same, and then we have Niffin system. And how does it look like? So see, the first one is the telephone system. So what happened in telephone, as you can see over here, in the bower system, what was like, there was continuous mesh, right? But in case of telephone line, for example, you have these poles, and then you have telephone line at your place, right? So similarly herein, there is these are wires, but there is difference. There is you can say they are far apart, but in case of this bower system, they were quite close and there was a mesh, and this is because so that there is proper area, space availability for the crops to grow. And this is a Niffin system. In this, what happens there, as you can see, there are two lines, one line is this and one line this. So this this vine, it would grow one here, one side here, so there are 4 columns for it to grow, and as you can see here, this is the Niffin system. All right, next is question number 4. Now we have come to pruning. So the pruning or cutting of main stem or all few branches, leaving a basal portion. So this, in this type of pruning, what we do, we cut one or few or all branches above, and then only the base portion is left out. All right, so the correct answer to this is option number B, that is heading out. All right, and here is the following, as you can see. All right, so the first one is that is thinning. All right, the first one is thinning. So as you can see in thinning, what happens, you just thin out, you just cut out the additional branches, so that if, so for example, if you had these many branches, what you do, you will cut some of it so that there is proper space available, that is the thinning. Second one is heading out, that that was in our question. So what happened, heading out, head is out. So what happened, if the tree is like this, we cut the above portion and only base portion is left. Heading out means going backward. All right, so you can say heading out is going backward. The third one is debudding. In this, what happened, basically you are just removing the buds which can turn into flower. And why do we do so? So basically what happens, because if there are so many flowers, energy, food would be needed for everyone, for every flower, right? And which would ultimately convert into fruits. Now what happened when we do debudding? So only some of the fruits which are there, but they would be of better quality, because there is no fighting of nutrient or no competition among the flowers for the energy that is within the plant, and that is what debudding is done. And the last one that we have is the topping. Here you can see that is the tree topping. And what happens in this? The top, they are cut down. See, in heading out you going backward, and but in topping you just cutting the uppermost the part of the plant, and this is done to stop the apical dominance and to grow lateral. All right, so these are the different types of pruning that we studied. Now the next one is dormant pruning, is also known as. So there is another term that is for dormant pruning, and the correct answer over here, it is winter pruning. How you can remember? In winter, most of the living organism, they go into dormant state. Dormant stage is when you do not you are not much active. That is a dormant stage, and that is why that is called winter pruning. So there are two type of pruning. One is summer pruning, one is winter pruning, and depending on the crop, you can you do pruning in the respective seasons. All right, so that was question number 5, and these are the toppers of the last session. Herein I want to give shout out to Ayushi especially, because she is the only one who understood the question. The question was what is false fruit? So Sonu, yes, your example is right, but that is not what I asked. That is the example. It is more like I have asked you what is your name, and you have given reply I am fine, right? Question of what is your name is your, the name is the answer, and then if I ask how are you, then I am fine, right? So herein Ayushi said the correct answer. I asked what is false fruit, she has given the proper definition plus example. Very good. So no, why I have mentioned you all? Because your answer is right, apple pear. It is example of the false fruit, but that is not the exact answer, the correct answer. RK also said apple fig, and Sami Malik also somewhat he gave the definition and example. He started with the examples and then he explained a little bit much. What happens? See, in female body part, the two things that you have to focus. One is ovary, and one is yes, that is ovary. So what happens? And under then you have ovule. So what happens? The ovule, it gets converted into seed after fertilization, and what happens? Ovary, it converts into fruit. So the flesh that you eat, that is the ovary. But what happens in some of the cases, this ovary is not developed into fruit, but some other part of it is developed. For example, thalamus. All right. So herein the flesh is not derived from ovary, and such fruits in which ovary is not converted into fruit, but rather there is some other part of the flower that has been converted. Such fruits are known as false fruits. All right. So yeah, Sami, I could say you came second, but Ayushi, very good answer. And see, the question for today, it is pruning in apple is done in which time period? So you have to tell me what is the month in which you do pruning in apple. That is your homework. In next session, what we are going to do, we are going to cover all the examples of training and pruning and other plantation horticulture stuff, because that is very important for your examination point of view. You should not only be aware of the practices that are done, but also with the examples of it. All right. So that we will do in next session, and until then, all the very best for examination. If you have any queries, comment down below. I'll definitely reply to them either in comment section or in my next session. All right. And until then, all the very best for examination. Thank you.